Coming up on MU Report, find out what left students and faculty in the dark.
And how H1N1 is no longer all the hype when it comes to getting your seasonal flu shot.
You're home for complete Marshall University news. This is MU Report.
Hello and welcome to MU Report. Thanks for tuning in to our student-produced newscast. I'm Dan Maddox.
And I'm Laura Hatfield. We're coming to you from Marshall University's W. Page Pitt School of Journalism and Mass Communications. Now our top story.
More on a power outage that shut down most of Marshall's campus. Classes were canceled and students say people were trapped in elevators. And while it inconvenienced faculty and students alike, students were happy to get out of class. Classrooms went dark and generators fired up after a power outage plagued Marshall's campus.
It just went pitch black, and I didn't know what to do. It was like in the movie, like scary movies.
An AEP spokesperson says an underground cable split near Marshall's ROTC building, causing the blackout. An email was sent to students canceling classes in certain buildings. For some, the blackout could not have come at a more inconvenient time.
I was in the shower, and it went pitch black.
Nino Jordan was heading to an elevator when the power went out.
I'd have been mad. I'd have been heated. If I got on the elevator, I'd have been mad.
Chantel Scott lives on the 12th floor of Twin Towers East and couldn't take the elevator.
We had to walk all the way back, and now we're tired and now have to go all the way to the 12th floor. And I'm not afraid to admit that I'm a lazy person, so I really am not trying to walk up 12 flights of stairs.
Well, some chose not to. For someone who can't use their legs, taking the stairs is not an option.
Well, I've missed one class this semester because the elevator in Jenkins was down, so I missed that class. If the elevators are not working or out of order, I don't get to go to class that day. So it's pretty much how that works.
While the power outage was definitely an inconvenience for a lot of people, it did come in handy for some.
The power went out. We were all supposed to give presentations with PowerPoints, and then our speeches were canceled, and we had
Students were without power from 1 in the afternoon to around midnight on the main campus. This included several academic buildings and the majority of residence halls.
Flu season is here, and Marshall is taking an active role in protecting students against seasonal flu and H1N1 in a one-shot deal. MU Report's Ben Shamiso shows how students are putting last year's hype behind them.
Marshall Recreation Center is offering for 2 days a free flu vaccine to Marshall students and a $15 grant to faculty and staff. The H1N1 flu pandemic ended in August 2010 thanks to a steep decline of the number of cases. Is it still important for students to get a flu vaccine?
With being on campus, especially students that live in dorms, they are going to be around a lot of people. The flu is highly contagious. So it's just important to get vaccinated to protect themselves and to protect everyone else.
Destiny, as a supervisor of the vaccine clinic, speaks on behalf of the students. What about Marshall students themselves? Why would they want to get a flu vaccine?
The reason why I got my vaccination and everything is just because I have my family and everything, and I have a little girl that's about 8 months old, so we're just trying to take every precaution we can of just trying not to get sick and everything like that. And for us, with doing this every year, it's great for students because it helps keep the sickness down in the dorm rooms and everything like that.
With the flu season approaching, students benefited by going to the flu clinic and getting vaccines for free. Some students told us they did not only protect themselves, they protected everybody else. Ben Shamiso, MU Report.
More than 1,000 students received vaccinations at this year's clinic.
Midterms mark the halfway point for the fall semester.
But they may not ease the amount of stress studying puts on the students. Marshall students from all over are hitting the books hard this month as they prepare for midterm exams.
Quite frankly, they suck.
My midterm experience was really stressful. I did not know what to study for, and when I went to my classes for my test, I was really nervous and really scared, but overall it was okay once I got past the first test.
Students say midterms are not easy, and some students had to learn their lesson the hard way.
I wound up having to retake some courses my second semester. I had to retake a chemistry course and I had to drop my first math course and retake it in the spring.
A lesson learned by Rylan. Brandy says she has her studying down to a simple routine.
I'll probably kind of usually, before midterm comes up, I'll look over the notes and go through it, just, you know, little by little. That way as I get through it, when I read over it for the final time, it kind of accumulates my knowledge and makes it easier.
It was a lot of trying to figure out how to manage my time a lot better. You know, in high school you could kind of just goof off with your friends and show up and get good grades. In college you really have to devote yourself.
A busy time for students as they prepare for midterms. Most of them spend their time here, but some of them needed something a little more powerful than just determination.
I drink a lot of coffee, I read over my notes, usually fall asleep about 1 o'clock in the morning.
While coffee helps many students stay awake, for some, midterms take a toll on the body.
I'm glad they're over with.
Students only have Thanksgiving break, a short amount of time before they start studying for their final exams in December.
Career success in most cases is the reason people go to college to begin with. Kristen Harker tells us more about what Career Service is doing to help students find the right fit.
You always like to see success, and so when we see that it's working, that's always a good thing.
Debbie Stoller knows when you find a good thing, you run with it. And when your job is to help connect students with potential employers, the Career Expo is like hitting the jackpot.
I think that employers find a lot of good candidates who later, after they leave, will do interviews and actually hire a lot of these students. And we have a lot of alumni that come back. We have some alumni here today that are at some of our tables that actually found their job through coming to an expo.
Creating a win-win atmosphere that keeps employers from the Huntington Police Department to public accounting firms coming back each year.
We do get quite a few college applicants as a result of the job fairs and our presence here.
We try to keep a familiar face as far as Marshall goes so people recognize and feel comfortable.
Whether you're a student looking for a job or an employer searching for the right hire, Debbie says there's nothing better than being the connecting piece of the career search puzzle.
When they first come in, and then as they begin to develop and they develop their resumes and they learn how to interview and they're seeking that job, and then they get out and they find that job, there's a lot of fulfillment in that because that's what we're here for and that's what the college is here for.
Kristen Harker, MU Report.
Students can visit Career Services in person or online for help with resumes, mock interviews, and to find jobs that fit their schedules.
Networking and recruitment was the scene at the Memorial Student Center earlier this month. Marshall Student Government Association had a meet and greet. Alyssa Salyers reports SGA's reasons for hosting the event.
The SGA invited the Marshall student body to eat lunch while meeting their representatives. Members hoped for a larger turnout, but some students did take advantage of the opportunity.
I would have liked to see more people here, but I think for as short notice as it was, I think it went pretty well. We got quite a few applications in, and we had people down here, even if it was just to pick up a sandwich or whatever. You know, at least we got the word out, and we got some interest.
The students who participated were glad to have the chance to meet their student leaders.
I think the student government plays an integral part in its involvement on campus because without that is the voice for students. And I wanted to actually come down here and meet my representative and get some information about joining.
The SGA is working hard to have a more visible presence on campus. Members say they hope this will result in a better connection with their constituents and in vacant Senate seats being filled.
We have 16 senators, we only have 17. We have 17 spots that are open, so we're only at half our capacity. And we're really trying to get our numbers up because, you know, you can speak up and you can make a change at the university. We need people to step up and to speak up.
The SGA wants students to know their input is needed. Students are encouraged to stop by the SGA offices, attend meetings, and otherwise get involved. Alyssa Salyers, MU Report.
If you're interested in joining student government, you can visit the SGA office on the second floor of the Memorial Student Center.
Learning skills in life and on the field as Girl Scouts from all around had the opportunity to play with the Marshall women's soccer team. As Kelsey Dutney reports, the girls not only got to learn some skills on the field, but also got to spend some time with role models.
Earlier this month, Girl Scouts from around the region came to participate in a soccer clinic that was offered by the Marshall women's soccer team.
We had just over 100 girls here participating, girls from kindergarten through 8th grade, and from Cabell, Putnam, Mason, Wayne, and Kanawha counties, all here on the football field doing drills, soccer activities, just talking about everything soccer related.
What'd you learn?
How to play soccer.
How to play soccer? The clinic allowed Girl Scouts from kindergarten through 8th grade the opportunity to learn the importance of working together. Girl Scouts were separated into different groups according to their age, and members of the soccer team would show each group how they would benefit by teamwork.
They took away working together as a team and what they can accomplish. They were working with girls their age, and then they also had, of course, the women's soccer team.
One of the goals for the Girl Scout Clinic was to not only learn about teamwork, but to also learn about the importance of physical activity. The girls got to see firsthand how beneficial it was to be part of a sport.
We played freeze tag and we did the crab walk.
What was your favorite part?
I like doing the freeze tag.
If anything, hopefully we spurred some of those girls who maybe aren't very active to encourage that physical fitness and to get up and get active and have fun, and how much fun it can be just to run around.
At the end of the day, Girl Scouts went home with more than just a patch. They took with them a greater understanding of soccer and teamwork. Kelsey Dutney, MU Report.
After the soccer clinic, Girl Scouts were invited to watch a soccer game where they could watch their new mentors on the field working together for a win.
The Pumpkin Park was packed in early October as the West Virginia Pumpkin Festival drew large crowds. Sam Turley tells us more about the 2010 edition of the West Virginia Pumpkin Festival.
The spotlight was on Milton last week as thousands flocked to the town for the West Virginia Pumpkin Festival. The annual event features hundreds of artisans, food vendors, and craft demonstrators. Pumpkins, of course, are the stars of the festival and play a big role, especially in the food and drinks available. Although plenty of the dishes are big hits, the most popular food at the festival is Husky's Pumpkin Ice Cream, which has been taking part in the festival since its inception.
We make it from our own recipe, and everybody comes back year after year just for that because they like it so well. It tastes so great. They'll pay more to get in the gate than what the cone costs, and they'll say that's the only reason I came back, was to get a pumpkin ice cream cone.
The pumpkin treats are a big draw, but the festival also features arts and crafts from area artisans with a variety of goods and services available. This year's festival featured more than 133 vendors who sold a wide array of crafts that included plenty of Marshall-themed items. The Pumpkin Festival also features a Pioneer Days area where volunteers demonstrate old-fashioned methods of craftsmanship. The exhibition included demonstrations of sorghum making and blacksmithing, and it gave some Marshall students in attendance a chance to take a step back into the region's history.
For Marshall students, especially if they're not from around here, it's a glimpse at our culture. Here's just a great time to go back to our roots and see all the crafts from the makers around us and all that kind of stuff.
The Pumpkin Festival has humble beginnings. It was originally created to help area farmers raise and sell their pumpkins. The festival was originally held at a local ballpark, but now has a home of its own at the West Virginia Pumpkin Park. This year, the Pumpkin Festival hit a landmark year and set a new event record. Having started in 1985, this is the 25th year for the West Virginia Pumpkin Festival in Milton. This year, festival organizers say the number of attendees was close to 60,000, the largest in the event's history. Sam Turley, MU Report.
The West Virginia Pumpkin Festival is held every October in Milton, West Virginia. The festival lasted from October 7th to October 10th.
Here's a look at what you can expect on the next edition of MU Report. Comedy Central comedian Daniel Tosh is coming to Huntington and will be there to catch the students' reactions.
And students will be getting a chance to voice their concerns to politicians running in the November elections when Meet the Candidates hits Marshall's campus.
In the meantime, that's all the time we have for this edition of MU Report. Our advisor is Dr. Chris Swindell. You can reach him if you have any comments or suggestions at swindell@marshall.edu. I'm Dan Maddox.
And I'm Laura Hatfield. Thanks for watching and have a great day.